Hello everyone, it's us again, dedicated team behind TV Day's Drama Digest. We're thrilled to be back with another deep dive into the whirlwind world of our favorite soap opera, where alliances shift like sand in a storm, secrets fester in the shadows, and every glance could spell doom or redemption. Today, we're turning our spotlight on a storyline that's been simmering just beneath the surface, refusing to fade into oblivion, the tangled, treacherous connection between Rachel and Sophia. Oh, dear viewers, if you thought their saga had reached its final curtain call, think again. The embers of their forbidden bond are still glowing hot, and it seems the flames are about to roar back to life. Rachel, our resilient yet vulnerable heroine, is poised on the edge of a precipice, staring down into an abyss crafted by Sophia's cunning machinations. Significant trouble looms on the horizon for Rachel, courtesy of Sophia's unrelenting plans. Buckle up, because we're about to unpack how this dramatic tale might unfold layer by layer, twist by twist. Will Rachel escape the web, or will she be ensnared once more? Let's explore this predicted scenario together, and we'd love to hear your thoughts at the end. Could this really happen? To truly appreciate the gravity of what's brewing, we need to rewind a bit and revisit the stormy history that has brought us to this pivotal moment. For those who've been glued to their screens since the early days, Rachel's journey in Salem has been nothing short of a roller coaster. She's the embodiment of the classic soap opera archetype, a woman who's endured heartbreak, betrayal, and unimaginable loss, yet somehow clings to a thread of hope. Remember her early appearances? Rachel burst onto the scene as a fresh-faced newcomer full of dreams and determination, only to be thrust into the chaotic orbit of Salem's elite families. Her relationships have been a minefield romantic entanglements that promised forever, but delivered devastation, friendships that turned to feuds overnight. And then there's Sophia, the enigmatic force who's become both her ally and her Achilles heel. Sophia, with her sharp intellect and shadowy past, entered the narrative like a thunderclap. She's not your typical villain, no, she's far more nuanced. A character draped in layers of mystery and moral ambiguity. Viewers have debated endlessly in forums and social media threads. Is Sophia a master manipulator? Or is she a product of her own tragic circumstances? Her backstory, revealed in fragmented flashbacks, paints a picture of a life marred by abandonment and survival instincts honed on the streets. Sophia's arrival in Salem wasn't coincidental, it was a calculated move, drawing her inexorably toward Rachel. Their initial meeting was electric, a chance encounter at a dimly lit cafe on the outskirts of town, where Sophia's piercing gaze met Rachel's wary eyes. What started as a tentative friendship quickly evolved into something deeper, more dangerous, a partnership born of desperation. As the episodes progressed, their bond deepened amid a backdrop of escalating drama. Rachel, reeling from a recent betrayal by a trusted confidant, found solace in Sophia's unyielding support. Sophia, in turn, saw in Rachel a kindred spirit, someone who understood the weight of hidden secrets. But oh, how the writers loved to twist the knife. It wasn't long before their alliance veered into forbidden territory. Whispers of illicit dealings began to circulate, rumors of schemes that skirted the edges of legality, all in the name of mutual protection. The powers that be in Salem, from the stern doctors at the local hospital to the ever-watchful authorities, decreed that Rachel and Sophia must sever all ties. Communication was strictly forbidden, a mandate enforced with the threat of severe consequences. Yet, as we've seen time and again in this show, rules in Salem are made to be broken, especially when passion and peril collide. Fast forward to the present and the tension is palpable. Sophia, ever the resourceful one, has managed to procure a phony, sleek, untraceable device that's become her lifeline to the outside world. In a scene that had us on the edge of our seats, Sophia slipped a note to Rachel during a fleeting, clandestine moment. The note, scrawled in hurried script on a crumpled piece of paper, reads simply, "Waiting for further instructions." Can you imagine the chill that must have run down Rachel's spine as she read those words? The camera lingered on her face, capturing the flicker of fear mixed with a forbidden thrill. In a move that screamed desperation and defiance, Rachel didn't just hide the note, she swallowed it whole, ensuring that no prying eyes could uncover the evidence. It was a dramatic gesture, one that symbolized her commitment to keeping the secret buried deep within her, away from the judgmental gazes of friends, family, and foes alike. This act of swallowing the note wasn't just a plot device, it was a masterstroke of storytelling, heightening the drama to feverish levels. Picture Rachel in that sterile hospital room, her hands trembling as she crumpled the paper into her mouth. The sound of her gulp echoed in the silence, a metaphor for the secrets she's been forced to internalize throughout her life. The doctors had separated them, physical, Rachel confined to one wing, Sophia to another, but minds like theirs don't adhere to walls or warnings. Their connection transcends the physical, it's a psychic thread, woven from shared traumas and unspoken promises. Even as the medical staff patrolled the corridors, enforcing the no-contact rule with vigilant eyes, Rachel and Sophia found subtle ways to bridge the gap. A meaningful glance across a crowded cafeteria. A coded message hidden in a discarded magazine. These are the lifelines that keep their bond alive. But here's where the real drama intensifies. We all know deep in our soap-loving hearts that Rachel won't have much of a future if she continues down this path, blindly following Sophia's lead. Sophia's plans have always carried an undercurrent of risk, a flirtation with danger that could engulf them both. What started as a minor infraction, perhaps a smuggled message or a hushed conversation, has the potential to escalate into something far more catastrophic. Depending on what Sophia orchestrates next, Rachel could be dragged kicking and screaming into another convoluted case, another meticulously plotted escape attempt. Imagine the scenes unfolding. Sophia huddled in a dimly lit corner, her phone glowing ominously as she types out cryptic commands. Rachel receiving these missives through ingenious means as sympathetic nurse. A hidden drop point feels the noose tightening around her neck. Let's speculate on the details of this impending escape plot, because the writers have left us breadcrumbs that scream trouble ahead. Sophia's history is riddled with daring getaways. Remember the episode where she evaded capture by disguising herself as a maintenance worker, slipping through the hospital's labyrinthine vents like a ghost? If she's pulling Rachel into a similar scheme, the stakes are sky high. Perhaps Sophia's further instructions involve coordinating with outside accomplices, shadowy figures from her past who owe her favors. Rachel might be tasked with gathering intel, mapping out guard rotations, identifying weak points in security. The drama would build slowly. At first, a stolen key here, a whispered alliance there before exploding into chaos. Alarms blaring through the night, footsteps pounding down hallways. Rachel's heart racing as she flees alongside Sophia, their hands clasped in a grip of iron. Yet, the beauty and tragedy of soap operas lies in the inevitability of consequences. Both women could be caught in the act, their grand plan crumbling like a house of cards under the weight of betrayal or bad luck. Picture the climactic confrontation, spotlights piercing the darkness, authorities closing in. Rachel's face a mask of terror as she's wrestled to the ground. Sophia, ever the fighter, might lash out, her eyes wild with defiance. But even she can't outrun fate forever. In the aftermath, the fallout would be devastating. Rachel, already teetering on the brink of emotional collapse, would be forced to confront the ruins of her choices. The doctors, shaking their heads in disappointment, would deem her unfit for the relative freedom of Salem's facilities. For your own good, they'd say, their voices laced with false sympathy, as they prepare the transfer papers. And so, Rachel would be compelled to say goodbye to Salem town that's been both her sanctuary and her prison. Salem, with its quaint streets lined with historic homes, its bustling docks where secrets are whispered on the wind, its hospital that's witnessed more drama than 1,000 stages. Leaving it behind would be a gut-wrenching scene ripe for Emmy-worthy performances. Rachel packing her meager belongings, her eyes brimming with unshed tears as she bids farewell to the few allies she has left. Perhaps a heartfelt conversation with a longtime friend, where she confesses her fears. I thought I could handle it, but Sophia, she's like a storm I can't escape. The drive to the new facility would be shot in slow motion, the camera panning over familiar landmarks fading into the rearview mirror, symbolizing the end of an era. But is this the end or merely a new beginning? In the world of Days of Our Lives, nothing is ever truly over. Rachel's transfer to another facility, perhaps a high-security center in a distant city, far from Salem's comforting household, opened the door to fresh storylines. New characters to meet, new conflicts to ignite. Will Sophia follow, her obsession driving her to orchestrate yet another reunion? Or will Rachel finally break free, finding strength in solitude to rebuild her shattered life? The possibilities are endless, each one more dramatic than the last. To expand on this, let's delve deeper into the psychological undercurrents at play. Rachel's decision to swallow the note speaks volumes about her character. It's not just an act of secrecy, it's a manifestation of her internalized guilt and fear. Throughout the series, Rachel has been portrayed as someone who's always putting others first, sacrificing her own well-being for the sake of loyalty. Sophia exploits this trait masterfully, dangling the promise of camaraderie in exchange for compliance. But what if Rachel's compliance stems from something dark, codependency born of trauma? Psychologists in the audience might nod knowingly. This dynamic mirrors real-life toxic relationships, where one party dominates and the other submits, trapped in a cycle of hope and despair. Sophia's side of the equation is equally fascinating. Why does she persist in pulling Rachel into her orbit? Is it genuine affection or a calculated bid for control? Her phone, that innocuous device, becomes a symbol of her power, a portal to the outside world where she can summon resources and allies. Imagine her late-night calls, her voice a husky whisper as she negotiates with unnamed contacts. I need you to be ready, she might say, her words dripping with urgency. The writers could milk this for suspense. intercutting scenes of Sophia's scheming with Rachel's growing unease. A close-up on Rachel's face as she lies awake, the swallowed note a metaphorical lump in her throat, wondering if she's made a fatal mistake. The forbidden communication aspect adds another layer of intrigue. Despite the doctor's best efforts, human ingenuity prevails. Perhaps they use a system of signal snapping on pipes in Morse code, leaving marks on shared surfaces. Each contact ratchets up the tension, making viewers question, how long can this go on before someone notices? The someone could be a new character introduced for this arc, a vigilant nurse with her own agenda, or a rival patient who's overheard too much. This could lead to blackmail subplots, alliances fracturing, and betrayals that leave scars. Now, let's paint a vivid picture of the potential escape plot. Sophia's plan might involve multiple phases: reconnaissance, diversion, execution. Phase 1, Rachel, under the guise of routine therapy sessions, gathers blueprints of the facility. Her hands shake as she sketches hasty diagrams, hiding them in her mattress. Phase 2, a diversion, perhaps a staged medical emergency, drawing guards away from key exits. Sophia, feigning illness, collapses dramatically, her performance Oscar-worthy. As chaos ensues, Rachel slips away, heart pounding, to meet Sophia at a predetermined rendezvous. The execution, they dash through rain-slicked alleys, breaths coming in ragged gasps. The wail of sirens growing closer. But twists abound. What if one of them is injured? What if a trusted accomplice turns traitor? If caught, the repercussions would ripple through Salem. Friends and family reacting with shock and sorrow. How could Rachel be so reckless? Headlines in the local paper screaming scandal. Rachel's transfer would be a tearjerker episode, complete with montages of her past glories and failures. Arriving at the new facility, sterile and impersonal, she'd face isolation, forced introspection. But soap operas thrive on comebacks. Perhaps this is where Rachel finds her inner strength, plotting her own escape from Sophia's influence. What about the broader implications for the show? This storyline could intersect with others, maybe involving fan-favorite characters who get pulled into the fray. A love interest discovering Rachel's secrets, leading to jealousy and confrontation, or a family member intervening, risking everything to save her. The drama potential is infinite. In making this more dramatic, consider the emotional toll. Rachel's internal monologue could be narrated in voiceover. Sophia's voice echoes in my mind, pulling me under. Am I strong enough to resist? Sophia's vulnerability peeking through. Moments where she questions her path, humanizing her. Expanding further, let's explore fan theories. Some speculate Sophia's instructions come from a higher power, a mysterious benefactor, pulling strings. Others think Rachel will turn the tables, using the connection to expose Sophia. Forums buzz with predictions. Rachel's goodbye to Salem will be temporary. She'll return triumphant. To add detail, recall specific episodes. In episode 4567, their separation was decreed after a heated argument exposed their ties. The doctor's stern warning, this ends now or you'll both regret it, yet in 4572, that no passing scene defied it all. The setting of Salem enhances the dramate's foggy mornings, echoing with unspoken threats. It's hospital, a labyrinth of hidden corners perfect for intrigue. As we wrap this up, wait, we're not done yet, there's so much more to unpack. Let's consider the thematic depth. This story explores themes of forbidden love, addiction to danger, the blurred line between friend and foe. It's a cautionary tale wrapped in melodrama, reminding us that choices have consequences. What do you think, dear readers? Will this predicted scenario unfold as we've envisioned? Will Rachel succumb to Sophia's plan, leading to capture and exile? Or will she break free, forging a new path? Share your thoughts in the comments, we're dying to hear. Until next time, stay tuned to TV Day's Drama Digest for more insights into the heart-pounding world of Salem.